All right. Hi, everybody. This isn't exactly how I planned to do crowns, but we're at home now, so we get to do this differently. Well, you're at home anyway. I'm at the Esplanade one last time. All right, so what we're going to start with is a cereal box. And this is something that probably an adult will start with. And you start with the cereal box, and you basically just cut as straight as you can. There, now we have cardboard. And then I'm going to cut another big piece. Oh, so I'm going to go like this down here. All right, so we've trimmed our cardboard down to about this size. Then what I like to do is just snip off these ends. And then you've got a really usable big piece of cardboard. Now what I'm going to do is, because I made these yesterday, and the first one I made, I used half a cardboard box. So I used like this whole piece, and I cut it in half. And I made a really tall crown, which looked great on my husband at dinner, but might not be what you want. So what I'm going to suggest is you trim it down just a little bit. So you cut off about 1/3 of the box. So then you've got a piece that looks like this, just like that. And then I'm going to take a marker. And you can do this or you can have the child do this. It's up to you. But then you go back and forth and just draw a zigzag line essentially down the middle of the piece like that. And then you do one more bit of snipping. And this is tricky because you got to go back and forth. But pretty soon your kid will get to participate too. This part's for you. Back and forth. Back and forth. And then it depends on what kind of glue you have, or if you've got tape, or what kind of an adhesive you have. But you take this crown piece, and you can basically assemble the two edges together. See how I'm lining up the triangles so they just kind of overlap and look like one big piece. And then I like to use hot glue because you don't have to wait for it to dry. So I'm just covering this little end bit with my hot glue. And then I'm sticking on my crown bit. Now, if you don't have hot glue, you can use white glue. You just got to wait a lot longer for it to dry. You can also use glue sticks. Those work great for the little paper bits that we're about to attach. But you can literally just use tape if that's what you have. So it's kind of whatever you need to do. We're going to get a crown made today. So then I have a piece that looks like this. And then this is where the child can come in and start to decorate. Now, I've given lots of options in the printout or the send out about different things you can use to collage on here, because you're not all going to have a Discovery Center worth of stuff. So one of my favorite things is just tinfoil. And what I do is I cut kind of like strips of the tinfoil. It's not quite as extra. So I'm just going to cut a piece like this. And then my favorite shape to cut out of tinfoil is triangles because they're not round and they're not hard. So I'm just going to make some snips of some shiny triangle pieces to collage onto my crown. Okay, and as you can see, I'm putting all my little bits into a muffin tin. This is a really nice way to put out collage materials for a child and something you probably maybe have at home. I mean, if you don't have a muffin tin, you can use a couple little bowls or a couple little cups, but this is nice for little fingers to grab little bits to glue on. Okay, I'm going to cut all my triangles. Now you can do this in advance for your child, or you can be there with them and they can be like, I need another triangle, and you can cut them another triangle. Or if they want a heart, you can cut them a heart. I also have these little foam shapes here. They're awesome. They were left over from Valentine's Day. A couple of them are even shiny. We happen to have some jewels on hand. You may or may not have them. They're at the dollar store. If you are at and about for other things, you might want to pick them up. And then these are awesome. These are just pieces of tin foil, but you can use wrapping paper, you can use scrapbook paper, you can use any bits of colored paper that you have at home, and just cut it into little bits for collage. Stickers are also really fun. Lots of times you're limited or you only put one sticker on. Today's the day to use them up. Put them all on. Decorate. So yeah, I'm going to get out my glue stick because I like gluing paper with glue stick. And I'm going to put some on here. Oh, it's also an option to to color and decorate on your crown. So you could color some bits. Whatever your child is into, go with that. You could also use paint here. Paint would be a fun addition. It'd even be fun if you had white paint to paint it all white and start with a white surface instead of a brown. But it depends, again, what you have. This kind of art isn't about what it looks like. I mean, of course, it's beautiful, but that's not really the point. The point is that it's fun to make, and you can make it with things you have at home, and you can feel a little bit fancier. You know, I recommend wearing these to dinner. Like I said, I made my husband do it last night. He was mildly entertained. All right, so I colored a little bit. I think I'm gonna glue on some of these collage-y bits. I really like the way the tissue paper sticks with the glue stick. If you're using heavier things like beads or pipe cleaners or anything, yarn would work. You're gonna wanna use white glue or hot glue for that though. I'm gonna put on some stickers. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you look on the back of my crown, I have a flowy tail. And how I did that was just by cutting some strips out of a big piece of tissue paper. But you can use ribbon, you can use streamers, you can use any of those things too. But it kind of makes it feel a little bit fancy. And so see, now I have some big long strips that I can glue or tape or put on my crown. And just, I like to put them near where the back is, so that's typically where these end pieces are. And the last step an adult, once this is all decorated, the last step an adult has to help with would be to attach the crown. So the way you do that is you hold it around your head and you hold it with your fingers, and I pull it up, and that's about how much it's gonna overlap mine. My head's kind of big, so it's gonna overlap about 1 inch. And I'm just gonna take my hot glue, again, you can use tape, you can use white glue, and I'm gonna glue that. Once it's all decorated, you do this, you glue it all into a circle. I'm not gonna make you guys watch me finish my crown, because hopefully this will take a little while. That's kind of the point, is to spend time together and make something a little bit special. But you get the idea. With just simple things, recycling you have at home, you can make something pretty awesome and make your dinner tonight a little bit fancier. All right, thanks guys, bye.